Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, where today we are looking out over the southeastern side of Glasgow, which we've not really looked at, like at all, which is a real shame because down here is really, there's a lot going on and we're not serving any of it. So let's put an end to that and a start to the local network down here. So we're going to get our local route colour for Glasgow, which is the light orange. And we'll just get that ready. Let's not do a bus route yet. Let's just have a look at what we've got going on down here, because we do have a few things. It's not completely barren. So let's head over to the Wishaw garage, like so. So yeah, down here at the Wishaw garage we have a few Geminis. We have a decent number of Geminis actually. A fair few, and then we have some of these K94UB 6x2 Volgrens, which are, as you can see, triaxle Scania double-deckers, which are very, very nice. With the Volgren bodywork. Volgren, if you don't know who they are an Australian coach builder, and they're still going today, and they make bodywork for a number of different chassis. But they have really, really beautiful bodywork for the BZL, and I'm just like, Volgren, please come to the UK. It would be really nice. But apparently we don't deserve Volgren bodywork in the UK, so But that's as far as we go here, and the fleet here is therefore quite small, at just 44. Not the smallest garage on the map, especially seeing as we have got, a fair bit of expansion done since. In the sort of the home counties, if you will, but not a lot around here. The Glasgow garages normally get very full very quickly. So yeah, the grand context of the area: Motherwell, Wishaw garage is down here, Motherwell's over here, Newmains up here, Wishaw's over here, Hamilton is this area here, over here is East Kilbride, which we've absolutely covered in buses. Up here is Coatbridge, Airdrie and Clarkston, which we have the N15 serving overnight all the way out to Caldercrooks. Here is a bus that's on a dead run that is going to form a 115. I don't know where that's going, but it's there. So that exists, that's fine. What is this? Copse of houses. This looks like it won't be in range of any bus stop I put along it, but it also might be a candidate for a really tiny bus. Just this little area from here, just down into Wishaw town centre, maybe to Wishaw station, which is over here. So it could come in like this, then down and around, and turn back at the station. Like, that would be nice. I don't have a livery for that yet, so I'm not going to do it. But that's an idea. But for now, let's get started on the 231. Which is going to run up here from the Forgewood estate, I think it's called. Get my map. Yep, Forgewood estate. And it's going to go into Wishaw via the back way, via Overtown. Because that is a route that exists in real life, and I'm sure it's very useful. So that's going to get set up. Well, we're going to put that in rather than, active voice, people. Use the active voice. It's better. There we go. And this is going to be the 231 from Forgewood to Wishaw. Forgewood to Wishaw station. So let's... Where is the access into and out of the estate? It's by Jonas Street and Carmore Crescent. Indeed. Yeah, so this is the road. And... oh, it's also by here. Well, I'll put a stop there and call it Forgewood Crescent. Forgewood. Just Forgewood. Or Forgewood Estate. Forgewood Estate. There we go. And we'll go around like so, like that. Go over here, please. And then we're just going to head through Motherwell as we do. It's not going to be too terribly different to the routings of, you know, like out to there it's going to be, you know, just follow the N30 and X30. So post me if you don't mind. And there is the 231 from the Forgewood Estate to Wishaw Station via Motherwell and Overtown. So it's looking like it's taking 79 minutes before, or to do a return before I put timing points in. So this should be able to run every half hour with 3 buses, I would say. Or every 15 minutes with 4, something like that. That should be fairly easy. Every 15 minutes with 4? No, every 15 minutes with 6. Yes, that's how numbers work. Well done. Will it need to run every 15 minutes? I don't know. We'll see. Probably? I don't know. I'll get the timetable done. Timetable, it's very nice. Look at this, it's a timetable screen. I do magic in here, and I'll be back when the magic is done. And the timetable for the 231 is now in place between Forgewood and Wishaw Station. So it's going to run up to every 15 minutes, and the OC type, isn't that fun? I'm just going to check the Sunday timetable before we wrap up to make sure that it's not doing anything too egregious at Wishaw. That's like 15 minutes-ish? No, that's like just under half an hour. Yeah. No, that's not terrible, I guess. That sits at 10, and then the Sunday outbound will get 20 minutes, because that is long enough. Good. Confirm. That will go from Wishaw, which is there. We'll activate that later. So that's the 231. Next is going to be the 232, which is going to run from Airbles 11th Street over here, around this way, then up through Carvin, New Stevenston, Hollytown, Moss End, and Bellshill Town Centre to the, what is that estate called? The Shirrel estate at the top of Bellshill. And again, that is going to be the 232. So, let's get this going. The game is not happy. Probably autosaving. Autosaving. I won't hold anything against it for autosaving. We want autosaving. It's a autosaving's good. There you go. 232. There you go. Got there in the end. Airbles to Shirrel estate. There you go. Airbles to Shirrel estate. And I'm going to commandeer this bus stop to be Airbles, size 75%, small caps, 11 Street, size equals 100%. There you go. Good. So we're going to go around like this. And post me, if you don't mind. And there is the 232 from Airbles 11 Street to Bellshill Shirrel Estate, and as you can see, it is anything but a straight line. Like, yeah, this is far from the most direct way from Motherwell to Bellshill. Thankfully, the 315 is already in situ, so a faster journey between Motherwell and Bellshill is already possible. It's not something we need to improve, it's already here. So, I'll work my timetable magic, and this one probably going to run every 20 minutes. Let's call it 20 minutes. I think that will work just fine. And the timetable for the 232 is now ready. Now it's ready. So, it runs every half hour on Sundays, and also every 15 minutes Mondays to Saturdays. So let's get that activated from Wishaw later. Or ready to be activated from Wishaw later. And I want to have another bus that goes down this way, but maybe it goes through Shieldmuir and then up through Wishaw to Newmains. And it terminates where the N30 does in this estate down here. I like that. It's like a one last, like, make this a 3-router. That's fun. So I'll do it. So this is going to be the 230, North Motherwell to Newmains. And yes, there is a part of Motherwell called North Motherwell. That isn't me being generic. 230, North Motherwell to Newmains. And good, the turning circle is here. Nice. So that's going to say North Motherwell, size equals 75, small caps, Watling Street. Put the size back for any text that shows up after it in the game's UI. Now I wonder if this Watling Street is the same Watling Street that passes through Medway that we all call the top road, as the A2. I wonder. But anywho, 2:30 time, post me if you don't mind. The 230 is now in place between North Motherwell and Newmains. That is where it's going to have to go in the screen. Yeah, it starts up here at North Motherwell, Watling Street, comes down through Motherwell and Wishaw, Motherwell, Shieldmuir and Wishaw, and terminates where the N30 terminates in Newmains. So, it's about the same length as the other two, so I guess this one's also going to be every 15 minutes, and I will see you when it's done. And the timetable for the 230 is now all done, running also up to every 15 minutes all week. So, let's set that. We'll activate that later, because I need some buses for these routes. It's all well and good having the routes, we need some buses. So I'm going to go to... Yeah, I'm already at the Wishaw garage. It's late, as in it's 10 minutes past 4 on the day that this video is meant to go live. As in this video is meant to go live in less than 2 hours. Help. Yeah. Anyway, it's time to buy some buses. I already did the reveal that we're using Optare Solos. Not Optare Solos. Scania Omnicities, that's what they're called. Yes. There they are, the Scania Omnicity CN94UB, and I think we need 24 of them. So I'm going to buy 24 Scania Omnicity CN94UBs. In fact, I'm going to buy 36 as a preemptive thing. But of course, it's me, I have a repaint. And this is the first of the Glasgow repaints for the new image. It is called, the brand identity is called New Image. So yeah, this is the first New Image scheme for Glasgow. I fixed the template. I was never quite happy about the fact that there was always a rectangle of the colour that I'd put below the window here, so I just fixed it. And it's very nice. There's a little gap. But you probably didn't notice that until I pointed it out, so just shush. But yeah, this is, the Omnicity is different from all the others in that it doesn't have a skirt. Because I don't think Omnicities look that good with skirt, so it doesn't have a skirt. But this is this, and I forgot to... Okay, so this is like a weird hybrid scheme for now, where it's got the old Landau back end without the stripe. Let's say we didn't know how to make it work with all of this nonsense going on. So it's like a little variant just for the Omnicity. But yeah, broadly, I think that looks quite nice. So I am going to put that there as the thumbnail screenshot, and I think that's going to be very good. So yeah, I'm going to buy 36 of these, not 24. Because I want to do more expansion with this batch. And I can afford it. So I'm going to buy the rest of these and get them all plated up, and it's going to be great. And finally, we have SA04WGO, better known as OC322. So there are all 36 of our brand new Scania CN94UB Scania Omnicities. It's really weird when the chassis and the manufacturer have the same... when the chassis and manufacturer are the same, saying it like that. Like, chassis and body of the same manufacturer, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Scania. You're saying Scania twice. Anywho, I think the orange, like... I think I always underlook the orange, because I like the orange, don't get me wrong. But the red I'm using in Ayrshire is so much more powerful as a colour that I keep forgetting how nice the orange actually is, and I think it works really well here with the like geometric-y typeface. You know, Futura is a beautiful typeface. Yeah, with, you know, it goes really well, and yeah, just wrapping the orange up into the roof also helps. It doesn't look great from the top, but it, you know, helps it look good from the side, which is what I want for a design like this. Anywho, it's now time to activate all of our routes, because we have 3. I only planned for 2. There they are, the 230, 231 and 232, so let's go through them in numerical order as opposed to the order that we actually put them in. So this is the 230 from North Motherwell to Newmains via Shirrel and Wishaw. Next is the 231 from the Forgetown estate through Motherwell and direct to Overtown into Wishaw station. So it looks like it does a bit of a loop because it's got a break there and a break there, but actually it goes down like that if you can follow my cursor. Then it goes through Overtown, then up into Wishaw and terminates at Wishaw station, and then goes back out the same way. So it's like an open loop where it doesn't do that, it does this, if that makes sense. But that's the 231 from Forgewood to Wishaw via Overtown. And finally it is the turn of the 232 from Airbles 11th Street to Bellshill Shirrel Estate via Motherwell, Carvin, New Stevenston and Moss End. And it's now time to join the first 232 from the Shirrel Estate down to Airbles 11th Street. So yeah, that took a while. It's now 5:15 in the morning. This is not going up on time. But oh well. What's new on the Camj Kerman channel? Anywho, we're going into Bellshill Town Centre now. This is a very confusing bit. I don't like this bit. That's a horrible one-way system that makes no sense. Like, I don't mind a one-way system when they make sense, but that makes no sense. But we are just coming down it through Moss End now. With all the grace of me falling downstairs pre-caffeination. But through New Stevenston now nonetheless. And we do have a fair few on board. That's a good loading for a local service, I feel. Does it mean we technically could have used a smaller bus on it? Yes. Does it mean we're gonna make no money on this route? No. The Omnicity's fine, the Omnicity's efficient, so yeah, it's good. And also, I like the Omnicity. The single deck Omnicities I like way more than the doubles, but Omnicity is good. I approve of Omnicity. We're being chased down the Hamilton Road by a 315, which is nice. And now heading in towards Airbles, which is just down here. We stick on the main road for a couple stops and then down to there for our turn back or not really a turn back, but for our sort of pause at 11th Street. Just there. So that was the 232. Next, let's do the 231, because that goes in 3 minutes. Let's get the 231 up to Forgewood, and then we're going to get the 230 to Newmains. So this is what the 231 does. It comes out of the station, it goes around the block, and then in towards Wishaw Town Centre. It does that so that it can go through all of the town centre on Main Street. No particular reason why, I just wanted to use Main Street for the full thing, rather than having it turn at the junction. That made no sense, but okay. Coming through Overtown now, and there's something in my eyes, so if I miss something it's because I'm cleaning my eyes out. Otherwise known as rubbing them, which is probably bad. But this one, also doing quite well on the capacity front. Not too busy, not too quiet, especially considering that it is the evening on its first day. You know, this was not launched at the most optimal of times of day. That makes no sense. Yeah, there's no kind of event on. It's just a regular day in City Bus Manager for once. There goes a 2:30. And a bus on a dead run. And we're going this way in towards Motherwell. We will have buses that use this bit and buses that use this side of the road. You know, Airbles is not done. Probably a 2, 3, 4 or something. Because I like the idea of like pairing together even numbers and pairing together odd numbers, like I did in Havant and Waterlooville. If you watch the South Coast series, basically what I've done there is Havant and Waterlooville. If you're not very familiar, they're towns that are right next to each other on the South Coast, and they I'll pause the game while I'm talking about this. Yeah, they're right next to each other. They're quite similar. So I decided that I would alternate route numbers between them for the local services. Havant would get the odd numbers and Waterlooville would get the even numbers. Anyway, this is a 2:30 heading towards Newmains. So that started up there at 20:05, and it's going to reach Newmains West Crindledyke at 20:49. What a name West Crindledyke is. That's gorgeous as a name. I love it. Well, we're just coming through the town centre now, at Motherwell. And the way that we go is kind of similar to the 231, but we pop into Shirrel. And we pull off into Wishaw earlier, rather than going all the way through Overtown. But here we are going through Shirrel now. And we're going to cut across the bottom the way that the 231 goes. Someone's being caught on their phone. So yes, we go across this bit and then we go up and in to Wishaw. We don't really... Oh, we do serve the station like that. Okay, that's fun. That's nice. Well done, me. Good route planning. And yes, this is Wishaw. So now we're following the night service N30, and there is an N21 waiting to be assigned. So I think that, I mean, the N21 is the harbinger of tomorrow. So I think on that note, as we come up and into Newmains, I'm going to hope that the game hasn't crashed. Nope, good. Watch that go around the estate, like that. And is that going to leave at 50? Yep, there we go. That's heading back to the other end. North Motherwell, that's what it's called. I knew the name was there somewhere. But yes, I will see you next week from National Busways, West Scotland. Bye-bye.